Okay, what if the most memorable biology lesson you ever had didn't come from a textbook? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful way of learning that swaps out those dusty diagrams for real, living, breathing encounters with the animal kingdom.
It's a huge question, right? For a subject that's all about life, a subject as vibrant and dynamic as biology, how do we make sure the lesson itself feels just as alive?
It kind of boils down to two very different classrooms, doesn't it? On one hand, you've got the classic approach. Textbooks, diagrams, lots of memorization. It's pretty passive. But on the other hand, you have an experience that's all about curiosity, real interaction, and that amazing feeling of discovery. The difference is just night and day.
All right, so this brings us right to the heart of the problem with how we often teach biology the old-fashioned way.
Think about it. Biology should be one of the most exciting subjects there is. But somewhere between the textbook chapter and the test, all that energy kind of gets lost. It becomes abstract, just a bunch of facts to memorize, instead of a living world to actually explore. That connection to the real, amazing creatures, it just vanishes.
So, what's the fix? Well, it's actually pretty simple when you think about it. You bring the subject to life, by literally bringing life into the subject.
And listen, this isn't just a nice idea. The numbers here are pretty staggering. Research shows that hands-on, interactive learning can boost how much you remember by up to 75%. I mean, get this, that's the difference between remembering just a tiny bit of a lesson and remembering almost all of it. That's huge.
So, what's the secret sauce here? Why does this work so well? Well, first off, you've got that emotional connection. Holding a living creature builds a sense of empathy that no picture in a book can ever touch. And that turns kids from just passive listeners into active participants, asking all these brilliant questions. The result? You get these vivid, multi-sensory memories that stick around for way, way longer.
So let's get specific. How does this actually translate into real knowledge? What are the concepts that suddenly just click for kids during these encounters?
All of a sudden, these big, abstract ideas like animal classification become totally concrete. The word mammal in a textbook makes sense, sure, but the moment a kid feels the warmth and soft fur of a rabbit, it's on a whole new level. The word reptile clicks when they see the intricate dry scales on a gecko. They're not just categories anymore, they're the real deal.
And it brings these complex survival strategies to life too. I mean, instead of just reading about defense mechanisms, a kid gets to see a hedgehog instinctively curl up into a spiky little ball. They can watch a snake's tongue flicker, literally tasting the air to figure out what's around it. These aren't just facts anymore. They're behaviors they're witnessing up close.
This completely transforms the vocabulary of biology. A word like adaptation stops being just another definition to memorize for a test. It becomes a living, breathing concept, something you can actually point to and say, "Oh, I get it. I saw that happen." That's a much, much deeper way of understanding.
But you know what? The impact here goes way beyond just the biology curriculum. These encounters help a child's personal and emotional growth in some really amazing ways.
You can almost think of it like a powerful chain reaction. It all starts by massively increasing engagement. Naturally, that leads to way better retention. But it also supports every single kind of learner, whether you learn by seeing, hearing, or doing. And maybe the most incredible link in that whole chain? It's the amazing boost it gives to a child's confidence.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The feedback from teachers is just fantastic. Leah Lawrenson, a school staff member, says it perfectly. The children just love the experience. When you hear that directly from the classroom, you know something special is happening.
Let's circle back to that confidence piece, because it's so important. For a kid who might be a little hesitant or maybe even scared of something like a snake, that moment they decide to gently hold it, wow, that can be truly transformative. It builds resilience and this powerful feeling of, hey, I can do this. And this isn't just about one good day at school. We're talking about experiences that can genuinely ignite a passion that lasts a lifetime. Just think about it. How many biologists, veterinarians, or conservationists do you think trace their entire career path back to one single, powerful moment with an animal when they were young? These encounters don't just teach biology. They have the power to create the next generation of biologists. And that impact, that spark, it resonates with the whole family. As one parent, Joanna Jeffries, puts it, it's simply an unforgettable experience that creates so many lasting memories. It's more than a lesson. It's this incredible moment of shared discovery.
So we'll end on this thought. In a world that's so full of screens and abstract information,
What if the best, most powerful way to learn about the natural world is simply to reconnect with it face to face?